Okay, so I said I was going to give you some tips, basic foundational tips to help you get ready for a bench press contest. So I'm wearing my throwback bench for movie shirt from last year, my favorite shirts. So some basic things that you're going to need to know to compete, and these are things that can help you compete at levels higher than this too, especially if you've never competed before ever. So to start up, we need to talk about your setup. So your bench press setup, the most basic thing you need to know, besides the bench press itself, which I assume that you know how to do bench press at this point. So, and you know what it is. So you have 5 points of contact that are required at all times during the sequence of the lift. These 5 points of contact, your head must be resting on the bench throughout the whole lift. Your upper back must be resting on the bench at all times throughout the lift. If you can lift your upper back off the bench while you're doing a bench press, I wouldn't even be mad. I'll be impressed if you can do that while bench pressing, but you still won't get the lift. And then further, your butt must be resting on the bench at all times. Your butt cannot come off the bench when you're doing the lift. Now further, your feet must be planted flat on the floor. Can't do tippy toes. Can't have them hugging the inside of the upright that holds up the bench. You can't have them sitting on the bench. They must be flat on the floor. Okay, this is for your safety to help you balance. And then further, your hands, the 5th point of contact, your hands must be firmly grasping that bar. We do discourage suicide grips or thumbless grip. Your thumb needs to be wrapped around, especially folks going for some big weight. It's pretty dangerous. I've seen bars fall out of people's hands, experienced lifters' hands, because they use that thumbless grip. You got 300, 400, 500 pounds falling onto your chest and busting your rib cage and your sternum. That ain't good. People have died from that, from internal bleeding. So, get your setup correctly. Things that you want to do, and you may not want to change this up so soon to the meet. It's only in a couple weeks, right? But for me, I like to pull my shoulders back, my scapula, I retract them back, and pull them down. This naturally lifts up my chest, helps me better press because it shortens my range of motion. So when I get set up, I have a slight arch in my lower back, and my feet are flat on the ground, my shoulders and scapula pulled tight, and my head's on the bench. Many people do have an issue keeping their head on the bench, especially a lot of men, because they like to watch the bar touch their chest before they go back up. Okay? One of the fallacies with this is that when you raise your head up to watch that bar touch your chest, make contact, you actually lose some of your chest height. Your chest drops. You go, whoa. So this increases your range of motion. It hinders your lift. It holds you back. Okay? So, and the fact that lifting your head off the bench isn't allowed, you wouldn't get the lift anyways. So to do this, instead, to break this habit, if you're having trouble breaking this habit, go ahead and tuck your chin into your chest. Okay? Tuck your chin into your chest, and then go ahead and push the back of your head into the bench. This way, it's not an issue. Okay? So let me get you set up, and then we'll go from here. So okay, so I'm gonna remove this safety bar right here so you can better see my position. May even move this a little closer, huh? Okay, So you should be able to see most of me except my feet. So get set up. You now are going to learn. You're going to see. You have commands to follow. You can't just get down, press it, and bounce off your chest and go. So you have 3 commands in the bench press. Okay, we're following the rules of performance of USA Powerlifting and the International Powerlifting Federation. You will have a start command once you unrack the bar, a press command once you touch the bar to your chest, and then a rack command once you have successfully pressed that weight. So to get the start command to initiate the press, you first must get your starting position, unrack the bar from the rack, which you do have the option of getting a lift off from the spotters. You don't get extra points for not using it. So I'd use it, I always use it. So then once you unrack it and the judges see that you have control of it, then you will get the start command. So then you begin the descent to touch the bar to your chest. You'll touch the bar to your chest, and once the judges see that you have it under control, you're not spinning and shaking and adjusting or bouncing it, then, and only then, will you get the press command. When you get the press command, you can begin to press the bar away from your body, and when you reach the upright position, when you reach the position where your elbows are up, locked, and the lift was good, and the judges see that you have it under control, then they will give you the rack command. You can replace the bar on the rack. So I'll go through that one time with my setup. So my butt is down. I got my scapula retracted, pull back and down. So my chest as big as it can be. I'm gonna go ahead and tuck my chin. So my head is against the bench and my chin is against my chest. Spotter, I'm only lifting the bar, so I'm safe. Boom. My thumbs and fingers are completely wrapped around the bar. And you'll get a start command. Start. Press. And wrap. Okay? And that's it. Really simple. And so if you see, when I unracked it and I got my start command, you could tell that the bar was balanced, I had it under control. When I got my press command, you could see that the bar again was balanced and under control. After I touched my chest, no bounces here. Another thing about that press command, once you receive it, that bar cannot sink into your chest, okay? Once you get that press command, the bar must just go straight up. After you receive that press command, the bar is not allowed to descend at all. If it ever, during that lift, after the press command is given, if the bar descends at any point in that movement, then it's not a good lift, it's a no lift. So one smooth motion down, press command, one smooth motion up. Any downward movement is a no lift. So you know that for the future, for when you compete, if you end up taking it to a higher level of you, just like to divulge in benching for boobies every year, which is also fun and I love and appreciate it. So I think that I've covered all the basics. Don't sink the bar into your chest. Don't bounce it off of your chest. Have your hand wrapped around it. And I think it's going to be a fun event. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask and I will be happy to elaborate on answers and share answers. Thank you for being involved.